we go. Okay. Started like 1 second early. Whoops. Okay. It's because I couldn't see the preview. Alright. Welcome, guys. Let me turn off my power. For my heater. Yeah, exactly. If I can turn off my heater, that'll hopefully make sure that there's no power strikes going on. Welcome. It should be fun. So this is part 2, I suppose, to the Tuesday stream. Tuesday stream was just the just to go through a couple videos and see what they're dissecting them, I suppose. If we don't get a power cut this time, then I'm gonna chalk it up to it being the YouTube thing. But my dad has been insistent that it's a power thing, so who knows. Hi, welcome guys. It's IRL me again. Hi. Yeah. If this doesn't shut down weirdly like last time, then I'm gonna say it's a weird coincidence. Because my dad thinks it's a weird coincidence where he does believe that it's a power thing where it's just somehow my computer it got overloaded or something weird. But then also I'm thinking that it's also overloaded because of just having the YouTube. Yeah, trying to go from YouTube video and trying to stream that while also streaming the in and outtake of like the internet going up and down at the same time probably blew it up. So if I don't show any YouTube videos, then and if it doesn't blow up, then that's gonna be my theory. But how we doing? What's up, guys? That's looking good. All right. Hi, Sasha. I can wave. Hello. Alrighty. So today will be it's like what the thumbnail said is that we're gonna be doing Q&A, questions and answers. It's gonna be like some kind of Comic-Con type of panel, where basically all I'll be doing today will just be answering your questions. It's the 8th anniversary of my channel, and just feel like it's fun to see if there's any like lingering questions from you guys. If you have any new questions, go ahead and ask a question. Thank you, Sasha. Next question, what should I say? That's fine. It's very direct. And then I'll pin it. Boop. So I'll be at the top. There you go. Okay, dokie. So that'll be what today is, and then I might be drawing her and showing you if it's a question that requires probably like a visual aid, then I'll see if I can open the file. So if you wanna be more specific, maybe like how does something work in this particular file or this particular character or something? How do you animate? Any kind of questions like that, I'll be open for that. I do have a stock amount of questions, so if you guys don't have any, I have some to pull from. So, but hopefully if you have any more, then anything right now, I'll answer anything right now, and if not, then I'll yeah, if live chat has a question, then I'll answer it. But if there aren't any for like a certain period of time, then I'll just go to my stock. That's probably the plan of what I've been thinking of. Exactly. Yeah, I got the Discord and one from YouTube community. So thank you for that. I posted on YouTube community and Twitter, which apparently wasn't clear enough that I wanted the question on that post. So, whoops. On both of them, I had like I think it's water. On both of us, I had a addendum to them saying, hey, you know, I didn't mean to have you guys ask a question, you know, here to that post, which I posted like a week ago. So, yeah. So maybe wait like another 30 seconds or something, because I do have a lot of questions. I have a lot of stock questions, but if you guys have any questions. Mostly try to focus them maybe more towards on me. Not that I'm, you know, narcissistic in some sense. But just to keep it slightly focused so I don't have to, you know, answer questions that I might not be familiar with. But I'm very familiar with my own stuff. So if you have any questions like that. Sorry for talk one. See, there was one. That sounds good. So let's take one from Chicken. Here we go. We'll get it going. Alrighty. So what's Chicken asks, what's kept you at it for 8 years? I think it's just mostly the community has been really, really fun, and I just had so much fun, you know, with other stuff like with video games and, you know, at school. I wasn't really able to really share too much, you know, outside that, you know, outside the school, and not really talk too much. Like that's what I'm saying, is that I didn't really talk much outside of school, and I was interested in video games, and wasn't able to really talk about it much. But then I went online, and it's like opens up all the possibilities and all the doors. So I think just online and just the community, obviously the huge MLP community in general, has been super inspiring. That's been really nice to immediately post a video and get, like, you know, some comments and really good feedback from you guys too, because always it's a really deep question of like, well, yeah, I think just my drive to work on things, and my drive to make something creative and tell stories and all that is kind of like my childhood all kind of culminated into making cartoons and making fun pony stuff and animations, and being able to actually share it with people is like, that's amazing. So able to get that feedback from you guys, and people get good and bad feedback are both amazing. So when I get like a bad one, it's like, this is still good. Like, I can use this to say like, okay, for the next one, I'll try to do or not do that. But for 8 years, it's just been really just trying to tell as many stories as I have in my brain, apparently. Yeah. I think that's pretty good for that. Because I think probably don't want to talk about each. I got a lot of questions with this, so I can probably not talk too much about each of these. But we can intersperse and check on you guys to see if there's any questions. Now that you kind of know what kind of question I'm kind of looking for. It's more just about me and my channel. And if we have to devolve, if we run out, apparently, then we can devolve into something else. Any other questions? Types of questions, I suppose. Not just like me and the channel itself, I suppose. But more I don't know what else I'm thinking of. If you just want me to answer something. Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Anything about the fandom that annoys me? I mean, that's pretty heavy too, of like it's just like the anti-bronies of like, you know, people who don't like it or they're intolerant to the fandom, which is of course the SpongeBob thing of hello, the only person who doesn't like Krabby Patties never had one, you know. The one where like Squidward was like, I'm not gonna have Krabby Patty, I don't want it. And then at the end he tries it and he's like, oh, that was pretty okay. It's like that kind of like mentality for a lot of bullies and people, is that they usually don't spend the time to actually learn or research or figure that out, and when you watch the show and then have an educated opinion rather than a flat line of like, well, this is some preschool show and some old kid, you know, is liking it. You know, it's like, why is he having so much fun with something that seems girly on the outside, you know? That's like, that gets annoying. Especially getting like YouTube comments of like, why are you making pony stuff? You know, pony stuff is cringe. And it's like, you know, from the bully's perspective, you clicked on a pony, you know, related content video, and then you also had to comment, you know? It's like that many steps. It's like, geez. Like, that's, you know, good on them to have that kind of dedication, but not also to understand and then tolerate it. So I would say that. So yeah, for all you guys here, we're going to be answering your questions. So if you want to leave a question in the comments section, I'll try and answer them. That's what this stream is going to be. Meantime, I can show any visual stuff as I think of that would be relevant. But otherwise, might be going back and forth between my stock answers or stock questions. So yeah, let's see. Alrighty, let's move on. Let's move on to another stock one. Alright, this is Star Study, the moderator, who most of you guys will be familiar with. Star asks, how daunting was it for you to begin using Flash when you first started? Whoops. Let's keep that open. I would say, let's see. Since we way back in 2012, 13-ish. 13 is when I published my first video. But way before then, I knew that my dad works for a video game company and like some online game. He hasn't been really like focused on like real game development as much as like the back end and like emails and different server stuff. So he handles like the very back end stuff of the game in ecosystem. So, but oftentimes he would like open up a Flash file to like make sure that something, you know, take like an asset from that and put it on a website. So he needed the raw file or something. And so he like I would like look over and see, you know, as a kid, like, what's that? And look at like this. I remember like an elf kind of character, and it was like watching an animation of like the different motions, like an animated sprite sheet, where different frames and stuff. There was also like a dragon and stuff, and so that was really cool. So that got me interested in Flash, and like that's how I got into it. Is like watch my dad play with it. But he wasn't an animator. I don't think so. He's never really expressed like himself like animating or cartooning. But at least he knew about it and is able to like use the action script version of Flash. Ooh, visual aid is that, yeah, you can have for action script, I can make this into a movie clip. And then let's see, I can do actions. And then there's this whole like coding box that I can do inside of Flash. It's probably one of these. Seriously, it's code snippets that I use a lot. Because I'm not a coder. But you can use these action script, which is basically like the coding version of how Flash works, is that you can have certain parameters and say, these are the stock ones, is that, oh, stop on this frame, click and go to that frame. So I can like program and code to like have different to program the game, essentially. So you can have like the game where you click on a button, and then what happens when you click on a button is in what the next step is one of these things. So that's probably what it was actually doing, was focusing on that, but he was like showing the animation. So what I was saying was, yeah. So when I first started, I felt it was very, very weird, and I think the symbol structure was very, very confusing, because the Flash, if you don't know, has like different levels, essentially. Is that, yeah, you can have like a circle, and then I can move it around, and I can also move between the fill and the line. Is that this is a drawing, so this can be all one symbol. I can make it a graphic, and then understanding how this part works is really weird. Is that now I can have this move in space, add a tween to it, so now it animates. So that's fun. But you can also take this whole thing, copy the layer, Control F8, and then say symbol 3, paste the layer, and then now I can have, delete this, go to library. Now I have this as its own symbol. And so now if I pull it out, it doesn't have the animation visible anymore, but it still moves because the animation is still inside of the symbol. Yeah, so it's like trying to figure out like just like what? And so you can even have like, this could be a symbol too. Or you can have multiple different drawings and different layers and stuff. And this could be its own symbol, and that can have its own animation. And then even inside there. So you can have like infinity amount of like deeper levels of how symbols can work. So I think that was like the most like trying to wrap my head around that. Because with pony puppets, it's like that's sort of how a lot of those are created. Is that you have to have a head, and then you have to have like the eyes might be different, and then the mouth. Let's see if I can open something here. Pony puppets. Let's get this one. So this is obviously the one that I made, but I already clicked on a symbol. So that's where it gets really confusing. Now, so this is one symbol. Symbol just means that it's a container. So just trying to figure out like how that works and how many layers this is just insane. So I get all these different controls just by how these are different layers and different. Each of these that have the boundary box like this means it's a symbol. But if I double click, you see how it's the dashed texture pattern here means that it's actually a fill, which means I can edit this on a per point level. But if I double click out, I double clicked, and then now I cannot edit it, but I can animate it based on a symbol level. So, exactly. Look, a coincidence how much just happen to be animated in Flash. Yeah. I don't know what else they would really be. I don't know if Toon Boom was... There was like a Toon Boom Animate, which gets really confusing because now the new version of Flash is Animate. So there's two programs that are completely different that are both called Animate now. They're probably like in, I think even like Lauren Faust's older cartoon. I think Foster's was animated in Flash. And I think later seasons of Powerpuff Girls were also made in Flash. So I think that was just like a, Faust's already have a bias already for Flash. That she probably already knew about it enough that's just use what you already know and then go from there rather than having a new series and go, let's write a whole new, animation software and just do it. It's like, no, just know what you know. Continue with that. But yeah, to animate it would just be to, I got this to be like a weird thing like this. It's parenting system, so it's not quite how usually you're supposed to animate it. It's more like a hack to be able to do that. But yeah, you'd be able to move different parts around and animate them, and each of these would have different frames inside of it. And if I put it to single frame, then it won't animate it. But I can animate it on outside or inside, and then translate it like I did the ball, kind of thing. So yeah, that's about yeah. Flash is a good comment about it. It's less common these days. Mostly Toon Boom. There's still Flash cartoons. I think it's still pretty prominent in Canada. A lot of their shows are probably still made in Flash. I think TV Paint is becoming the secondary. TV Paint is more for frame by frame. I don't think it has too much puppet stuff. OpenTunes is more for anime. Is completely different with that side. But yeah, I think you're right that Toon Boom is now becoming the primary one. But 10 years ago, then there wasn't really that much progress with Toon Boom, or Animate. that would have been much more cheaper to use, because Flash is on the Adobe software, so you'll be able to get all of that Adobe stuff in one package, whereas Toon Boom is more pricey up front. So, and it's also a little bit trickier to learn, or the learning curve in Toon Boom is different. I feel like even if you learned Toon Boom and then went to Flash, you would still have trouble of learning different how the symbols is unique to Flash. You can have symbols in Toon Boom, I just haven't really tried it, but you don't really need them to animate. In Toon Boom, they're called pegs, is that you can have the node system that have an invisible element that can connect to a child, which a child might be a drawing, and then it'd be the same kind of symbol structure where if you move the outside bit, then the child moves along with it, but the child is independent. So you can move the child wherever we want, and then no matter when the parent moves, then they both have to move equally. So that's sort of how this also sort of works, is that you can think of the head as the parent, is that it controls all the things, all the children inside of it. But then if I go inside, here's all the children, and then I can, you know, click on different things and then move those around. So, but it's just weird that you have to like double click and it's like nesting, because like on Toon Boom, everything's kind of like shown. Everything's able to be seen on one level. You're not constantly clicking and trying to go in and out of nested symbols all the time. So, yeah. Let's see. Someone uses TV Paint daily. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. It has no puppet features. Okay. Maybe like OpenToons might have some, I think, or at least might have some parenting system. If it has a parenting system, that's close to a symbol system. So even After Effects, which, you know, you can also animate in that for not just motion graphics, but Two Snacks, I think, animates with After Effects, and then they make a bunch of puppets out of that. Is that you can have different parenting system, which is the bare bones, you know, type of way to make a puppet. Yeah, exactly. Any other questions about how this works while we're here, or before I move on to something probably completely different? I have a different question. So yeah, it's mostly just animation is just, you know, just moving around the different puppets parts, and then if I need to replace a picture, then I would just go inside of it and add a different, like I might want to have this be, add a new frame at the bottom here, and then change it to be green color, and then if it animates, it'll go back and forth like a strobe. But if I set this to a single frame over here, behind my head, yep, then it'll stay. And if I need it to be green on one particular frame, I can add a keyframe, and then go to 2, and it goes to that one. So that'd be like this simplest kind of form of animation. And so you can think about that as that you can sort of animate like that, but it's probably not recommended to do that sort of thing, especially for like walking cycles. You probably just want to make a walk cycle with like each leg. You want to have like maybe either like a full like rotation or a full like walk of, like inside of here I can have like different leg pieces, and then maybe on the outside rotate them and move them, and then just using these different positions that I have inside of here of the different limb shapes. So that's probably closer to what you probably want to do. Let's remove the green skull. I don't need that anymore. Ah, my throat. Let's see though. Alrighty. Any questions? This is what this is for. It's the time to ask. This will be when I'm trying to be as dedicated to actually pay attention as much as possible before I get sidetracked by other people. Especially in other streams, I'll be trying to keep up as much as I can, so I probably won't be as detailed as I'll try to be in here. So yeah. Let's see. Otherwise, I got my notepad. I might got to go to that. But yeah, if you have any questions, any cartoons, or anyone else that I see here, go ahead and ask a question. That's what this time is for. So glad I asked beforehand, because otherwise this would have been really, really awkward. Can you imagine if like no one asked any questions in live stream when I wanted them? Oh boy. So, yeah. Waiting for you guys. Waiting for like a little minute before I move on. But yeah. Oh boy. Move on. Okie dokie. Was that, did I answer this question? It was tricky. But then I slowly like learned of like, oh, this is what a symbol does, and then layers, and then I think just once they kind of wore off of like how the symbols really work, then oh boy, that's even less than usual. I see 6. Oh no. Let's see. Welcome, guys, though. How you guys doing? Yeah, once I figured out how the symbols work and just how the layers work and just trying to figure it out, I think, I mean, I was optimistic before I watched. Now I see 7. Hello, guys. Let's see. Before I began, I was very optimistic and it's like, I watched my dad animate somewhat. And then, I was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh no, once I started to actually try it. But apparently I got a little bit over that. And then I started to work on it more. And each project I kept pushing myself into doing different types of motions and different directing things. And try to do something new. Try to learn something every project. And then up to now, it's like I feel pretty confident. That's why with the movie, I'm like working with 3D, with CGI graphics. Is that I can, I'm not too familiar, or at least with like confident with 3D Blender stuff. That's been the new learn thing there. Let's see. Next question. Oh, it's Fire Dragon. You're in the chat sometimes. Thank you. Okay, Fire Dragon is a cool guy. What is your all-time favorite episode for MLP? I mean, I think I might have said this a couple times. But Slice of Life is always gonna be my go-to. It's somewhat easier to think of ones I don't like because they kind of stand out more, you know. Because like if it's a good one, it's like, oh yeah, you can come off going like, oh yeah, that was good. But if it's something you don't like, it's like, you know, I can just keep ranting about what they could have done, you know. Is that like the Griffin to brush off? No, that was just okay. The other one, the Bird in the Hoof. I think a Bird in the Hoof was really, really awkward. It was really awkward storytelling. Like it didn't have enough plot enough that like Act 2 and 3 just kind of happen, but then nothing really happens in them either. So, but yeah, all time would be, yeah, Slice of Life, because that has the basically all the background ponies as the main characters, which I think everyone is happy with that. And then Derpy slash Muffin's got a full speaking role, and I love it. First time I watched the Applejack with the Derpy one. What was that? Apple Rodeo Cherry Jubilee one, whatever that called. One of my grandparents was also was visiting for like a one day, and we watched it. And it was like I internally I was like freaking out. I was like, this is the best thing ever. I was like, oh, it's Derpy. I love it. You know, but it's like, you know, try not to make a scene, you know, just kind of like, yeah, you know, just quietly like, oh, okay, yeah. And then meanwhile, I'm like, whoa, that's so cool. Yeah. So I would give it to that. Slice of Life. But also, Last Roundup and all the other. I think that's the only other muffin related one. Yeah. Last Roundup, yes. That's a good one. That's a good Applejack episode. It's kind of hard to write for main 6. That's why I usually don't feature them too much. Especially everyone that has headcanons as well. I don't like including the main 6 because either they're too established, and anytime I write for them, I feel like I'm overly stereotyping them. I remember making the Star Fox parodies where it's like the main 6, and it's just like trying to write it with like the dialogue, and I was like, oh wait, I don't really have anything. I don't know what to really have them say. And it's just like, oh, it just devolved into Rarity likes diamonds, she wants to mine the planet or something, and then Applejack's like, oh, wonder if there's any apple fields here, oh no, and Twilight's the leader. Wow, and then that didn't really probably wasn't like the best like writing in sense of trying to write up dialogue, which I'm not too comfortable with writing dialogue, which kind of shows that I'm not. My cartoons don't have dialogue. The only times I really tried it was the Halloween one from years ago, where I voiced it, and that saw the results of that. That wasn't too good. Try my best. I even wrote it and storyboarded it in class, in junior high. There was like a study hall kind of like class where it's just like let's just if we have any homework, work on it now during that time. And I was like, well, I finished, and I have an idea for a Halloween episode. Let me just go ahead and storyboard and hand draw these little tiny pictograms of what's gonna happen. So I guess that's the only time I really storyboarded things. Because I said like on Tuesday too that I haven't really storyboarded online until fairly recently apparently. I got off topic. Any questions from you guys? Let me know. This will be time for answering your questions. So if you have a question, go ahead and ask it in the comments, and I'll try to answer it. Otherwise, I've been using these questions just to keep the momentum going, so I can have something to talk about. But don't feel like I'm using these as like these overweigh your live questions to say that. So I'll do equal amount of attention to if you do a live question. So go ahead and ask at any time, and once if I'm doing one of these ones and you ask a question, I'll wrap this up and then I'll answer yours. So I won't move on to these ones until I answer all of your live questions. How does that sound? Yeah, go ahead. Whenever you're ready. Otherwise, I'll move on until we get into one. Legit has a couple questions. Whoop. Okay, thank you, Legit. Let's see. When did you know that you wanted to be an animator? This kind of leads me back into like the origin story with the Flash, with the elf and dragon from the video game. That was like my main I want to be a Flash animator, but I think just wanted to be an animator has been longer. Before then, that I've always wanted to be an artist or like some kind of creator. I like making crafts. I love my mom loves making scrapbooks and crafts and decorations and dressing up and stuff. So she's very my artistic side is with her. I love her for that. Yeah. So I think just being interested in that kind of stuff of like, let's do all the little fun crafts and make the little puppets and little painting. And I remember like painting something on like cardboard, making forts and stuff. And that's all just kind of led into being an artist and trying to figure out my output, figure out what outlet, what would be my best like direction of like, getting the water thing to figure out like where exactly on the artistic medium do I want to like focus on. And I think just watching a bunch of Pixar movies and watching a bunch of their DVD behind the scenes of watching the Monsters Inc. has been incredibly influential. Like watching the behind the scenes of that. I said that once they have like these super personalized offices with rolling around on scooters on the on the grounds and being really like a really fun playground. And says like that seems really fun. Is that you can animate and have a cartoon and a movie and have fun doing it. It's like that sounds pretty good for me. Love watching Disney old cartoons. Watching all three of the main channels of Nickelodeon, Disney, and Cartoon Network as a kid. Watching all those all the time. PBS. watching all those cartoons and really studying them and loving them. Yeah, I love all those cartoons. That I think that just all the stars aligned. That is like, you know, with the Double Rain Boom and that and my tier 6 stuff, that all just kind of collided into let's make Flash cartoons for Pony, and it's just like that's kind of happened. Yeah, I wouldn't trade any of that. That was fantastic, and especially a really fun learning experience as well that I get to in college. Really learn finer techniques. Oh yeah. Hope that was good. But when I would think, I don't know exactly, because it would be it would be always in the back of my mind, I would think. But probably after the Monster Inc. DVD, probably would have been somewhere around there. Trying to think of it an exact time, and I can't think of anything concrete right now. But I think it was just like the process of all of that kind of coming together. All kind of helped. Just drawing and making comics, and doing magic. Magic was really big for me too as a kid. I like doing little shows and trying to. I don't really perform for even kids or anyone. I would always just try to practice it and just feel pretty cool that I can try and learn some magic tricks. So I love all that. I just got really into that and just kind of, we had like a big subscription to like every month they would have like a book and a whole bunch of different, a theme for a bunch of different magic tricks. And that was really fun playing all that. And puppets, like Muppets and hand puppets and all that, that's been really fun. That was a huge thing, influential to me as a kid as well, is that I loved the Muppets and Sesame Street and all that, and wanted to either be a magician, a puppeteer, or some kind of artist as a kid. So one of them worked out. So, but yeah, I think that just kind of all those kind of skills that I got from that, and especially all the puppet stuff. You know, I'm able to, you know, lip sync and, you know, figure out the syllables and try to figure out like how performance through like some kind of character, you know, like I dissected a Kermit toy so I could like reach my hand in and, you know, operate the mouth, and just having able to control like some kind of character and have really fun precise movements with that has been really helpful with making cartoons, to be able to like bring something else to life. That's been really what I like, being some other kind of character and trying to perform as always kind of, it's all kind of connected. It's all the puzzle pieces as my childhood as somehow all kind of connected. Excuse me, my throat. Went to puppet face get awesome, yeah. But I went like really deep into it. I don't know about you, but man, I got so deep into it. Also a little bit of ventriloquism, where, you know, like a little dummy, where it's like, you know, you're not really supposed to move your lips and stuff, and just like I never really as a kid trying to figure that out, but learning like the phonemics or like the shapes that your mouth makes, once you kind of learn, learning how to do ventriloquism, it's like, oh yeah, certain sounds that your mouth makes, especially in English, you are kind of the same. Like I learned like B and P, like your mouth doesn't change between that kind of B, P, it doesn't change, but somehow your tongue moves, so if you kind of go B, so you can substitute one that doesn't make your mouth move, because P, B, oh wait, they both do. But if you find another one that is and somehow, then you can like replace other vowels or something with ones that can still sound the same. I don't know. But able to like learn that, oh well, B and P from the mouth shape kind of look the same, so when you do like lip sync, then you'll use that kind of shape for the same thing. So stuff like that. But yeah, I've been really hardcore into my puppet face. Oh, excuse me. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Hope you're having still fun. I'm having fun. Yeah, but if you have any live questions, if you have any questions while we're doing this, like Cookie is commenting and asking questions sometimes, we we got a bunch of Cookie questions, so don't feel like I'm trying to hog it with these questions, because I do like to have the live questions too. But yeah, with that, let's move on. Let's see. What project are you most proud of thus far? It's usually the one that I've, recently completed. um, I don't think there's an all-time one, but probably, I think for right now, I'll say the movie, Paper Derby's first movie. I'm having really, really fun time working on it. Still working on it. I got some really good progress on it, but like this time, really, really good progress. Like a lot of, uh, pretty much done with, almost done with the final, with the second phase, which I just have the characters in 3D and layout and some characters in the background. So I need to do another phase to get more characters and clean up. So I'm getting really close, considering. Let's see. Cool guy. Thank you. I think I actually answered your question. So unfortunately you were away apparently. But I'll just say slice of life for your question. Thank you. If you have any live questions, let me know. Go ahead and hey, do. If you have a live question, go ahead and ask it in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, movie has been really great. I'm having fun with that. Oh, I think some other ones. I don't know if I'm super proud of Derpy Test, honestly. It's been so long that it's like, I don't know. I can see a lot of the flaws with it. A lot of my popular ones. It's unfortunate the ones that I think are like my not greatest work are like the most highly viewed ones. So it's like, man, why can't it be something I like that gets popular? Yeah, because sometimes I just run out of time, or just some quality check doesn't wasn't able to have time to do that, or some bad ideas, some stuff happen in it. But if you like Derpy Test, good on you. It's just that me, I'm just like yeah, I wanna if I if I have time or whatever, if I have to drive to I might wanna redo the Derpy Test sometime maybe, but definitely not super now. Yeah, we speak, we're trying to speak English in here. Otherwise, I have no clue what you just said there. You'd like to translate that? Let's see. Hi, Noodle. I drew something. I hope that's good. Back from Work to Zelda deserves. I know, exactly. Back from Work is definitely one of my top ones. It's like just so simple and just so well executed. It's just like just amount of like craziness of like just suddenly of just like it TV just blows up and it just has no rhyme or reason, and then Derpy has like the next thing of like, let's just throw the fire hydrant, at the extinguisher at the TV and then throw it out of the window. It's like that's I don't even come up with that. I can't replicate that. uh but I'll be proud of it. I mean, I think it's a good story. It's such well executed. It just needs better animation. It's mostly at least on me. That's like that's all when using double rainbow puppets and doesn't have all the fine well uh, well orchestrated character animation. So, yeah, I mean, it's just fair to say, like, I mean, there's been a couple uploads of the three chapters for the movie, so I would say that. But if you asked me like a year ago, it would have been like the newest thing I worked on, and even back then, even if you keep going back, it's like, oh, I like that one. There's another one that I can see where it was Derpy, and then she's in a truck, like a delivery truck, and then there's like a bridge, and then the bridge has like a weight limit, and then it has like a number, and then cut to like the truck, and it has like the reverse number of it, making it like way more. And then it goes, then Derpy like drives over the bridge, and then it like cracks, and then you hear like it exploding, and then like I have an audible like the whoops my bad clip from the show. I don't know what it's called, or I don't even know if I have the flash file for it. So I would say that that's also a really good one. As a personal favorite, I'm like I like that one. There's a lot that I like. I don't know, but like trying to choose some certain ones. Yeah, those rise up to the top more. I would say I like a lot of my stuff. You know, not to say like a lot of them are trash, but some of the old ones are trash to me personally. So that's why I redid some of them even way back when, which wasn't much of an improvement. I don't know why. Like only like 6 months would go by and I'm already like redoing it with my improved skills that I thought that I had, and man, it was not much more. Let's see. I think that's good. Oh, and the most important question of 42 or 73. Exactly. I don't know. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like this, it's just my own personal opinions of like, if you like it, you know, that's great, you know, but at least to me, it's like I'm such an artist of like, there's something wrong with this, and you know, I could have done this better. Why didn't I think of that? You know, like I have all the remorse and like the hindsight to me, but you don't really have that as an audience, so I can have that, you know, experience of like going through it. That it's like, yeah, if you like it, you know, then perfect. That means it does its job, you know. Oh yeah, okay. 42 or 73. Who said this? Legit? Yeah. Okay. I don't know what the significance of 73 is. I know 42. That's the answer to life. If 73 is important, maybe, but I would think it's 42 would be somehow more substantial, you know. So I would go to 42. I think. If you don't know the context, which might be some of you, 42 is in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It was at the beginning where they asked this, you know, robot or some super being of like, what's the meaning of life and all of humanity and stuff. And then after millennia, the being like reports, and you know, it's like, I'm ready, and then like answers like 42. And everyone's like, what? So, I think that's great. Yeah. I'm just not sure what the 73 is. I don't think I am familiar with it to know if it's somehow a better, you know, version of it. So, won't dwell on that too much longer then. Alrighty. Cookie, how many questions do you got? Oh, yeah, that's right. These are all Cookie's questions. Look at it go. Oh boy. Oof. Okay. Well, thanks. I'll try and answer them. But if anyone wants to chime in with a new question, I'll prioritize it as best I can. So, so go ahead and ask me a question during the live stream, and we'll get going on it. Exactly. You know. Not to say like you guys are, you know, the worst or anything, but I guess it's just a viewing audience, then that makes more sense. So you're just watching. I appreciate, yeah, for, yeah, you know, I don't want to say, like, yeah, you guys are great. Please stick around. Yeah, my throat has been really acting up this week. So I'll try to go through these as quick as I can then. So in case there are some questions from you guys, especially Cool Guy and then let's see though. Oh boy. Let's see. Who are your favorite pony content creators? Favorite? We love you. Let me fix that for you. There you go. Is that even? That looks weird. Okay. I guess that's okay. I fixed it. Pony content creators. Ooh, that's specific. Most of my people I would probably be most familiar with would be animators. No. So let's see. Ones that I've worked with, let's see. I do like Minty, and I guess I have to do some credits due of Flamingo, the guy who made Double Rainbow. I'm probably have to say that. Let's see. Two snacks. The Celestia guy starts with an A. Oh no. Hyper Dash. We worked a bunch on different projects. Oh no. I'm sure there's more. I don't want to favorite these guys. Come on, they're all great. They're all like in little tiny little pockets. You know, sorry. I don't want to play favorites with with these guys, but yeah. There's a chat on a couple of them. Still Mystic Knight I worked with on a couple projects with KP. I love Kabatsuo a lot. I think Mystic Knight is unappreciated. Very, very low, but yeah, she does great work. But she's trying to make a name for herself, and I don't think anyone really is paying attention, which gives some love to Mystic Knight. I think she does some Twitch streams and stuff, and occasionally does animation, so I would say that. There you go. Let's see. Hopefully that felt good. How did you react to see some of your videos reach over 1 million views? Let's see. What was the first one, probably? I don't know if the Halloween one was first. Let's actually just check to see which ones are, so I can figure that out. But yeah, definitely the Derpy test got the most views out of my whole channel. Oh, I'm live right now. Ain't that fun? Boop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's check. So we go with sort by and most popular, as you can tell. And somebody's got 1 million afterward, so I don't know if they super count with what you're saying. Let's see. I have 4 videos that have more than 1 million. I don't know why Derpy Fishing. It's fun. I think it's probably the thumbnail. Well, let's go. Yeah, once this reached 1 million, I was like, I don't think I had a reaction. I think I was just like, I don't think I was really tracking this one as much. Derpy Fishing. Like, I wasn't like, oh look, it got 1 million. It's just kind of just happened. And I was like, oh, look at that. So I don't really have too much reaction to that happening. Season 5 SDCC MLP Animatic Animated Paper Pony Style. That one was really fun. I worked on, was this the one that I worked on probably in college? So that was fun. I brought my Flash file, and then I think I worked on it on a school computer. If you have homework, don't do that. Finish your homework before you work on stuff. Somehow it's got 2.1 million. So that's fun. I think once it reached 1 million, I was like, That's incredible. I mean, it's impossible to, you know, be too upset once this kind of happens, and it just only happens in a blue moon, you know, with somebody's, you know, I have like 200 videos or something, and 4 of them got a million, so who even knows? Somebody's probably gotten reshared, and I think somebody's did get shared on different websites, so that probably boosted it way more than obviously just, you know, Requester Daily, you know, sharing on there. That doesn't help as grandiose as, you know, whatever YouTube wants to do. So, but yeah, obviously I'm always happy with, you know, any kind of, if a video gets 2 views, then if that person is enjoying it, then that's fantastic. So once it gets to like this impossibly, you know, huge number that no human can like actually quantify, it's like, oh man, it's a lot, but I can't quantify it as a real number. So I was like, what does it mean? It's just a big number. Wow, you know. And Derpy Hooves, which yeah, I've said that this is not the best animated with the weird voice acting. So yeah. So for me to see this is like, no, please choose my other ones that I like better, like designer music and, you know, these other ones. It's like, oh, Derpy Holiday, that was really fun, you know. And somehow, yeah, the episode of Core Pinkie Pie and My animation, which is one of the worst animated things I'll probably put on this channel, honestly. Got 300,000. It's like, that's a lot. Man. So once this got at like 1 million, I was like very in shock, which, you know, it's hard not to be with this. And of course the Big Daddy, whatever, the Derpy test, 4.7. Let's see what the real number is. Let's see what that was in. 4.762038. So, thank you. I mean, and you know, thank you for all that. But man, it's, to me as an artist, it's like this could have been better. This wasn't the original story for this video either. I think I said this before, that this was gonna be a love letter story between Derpy and Flash Sentry, which did become almost weirdly canon sometime later. So, glad I didn't do that. So it's just become like the fun, like, you know, story already. So, yeah, but there's no story. I did write it out, and then I decided like that doesn't, whatever, I can do better. So I rewrote it. But yeah, it's just like sheer shock and just like wow, you know. Like, you're just in amazement. The first time that happened, where it's like, that got really big, was the, Wrong Herd? This one, which still sits at 16,000, but it got this was my first viral hit to me personally, of like, that got a lot of views, was the Wrong Herd, which is this Freakazoid reanimated thing. So I had a lot of fun recreating it, going frame by frame of the original Freakazoid cartoon, and then saying every frame, trying to figure out what happens in it. So that was really fun. That was the first one that got on EQD, and Requester Daily without my knowledge. I think it was the first time they featured me, and it was also like the first time they just put it up without notifying me. So I just went on Requester Daily one day, and it's like, hey, look at this, you know, it's like, I know that, you know. It's like, wow. And then I got way more views than my videos at that time. You can see it's already 7 years ago. So, and my videos back then were not getting, you know, that many. Probably got like 10,000 just straight from Requester Daily. So I would say that was really fun. Let's see here. Next question. Let's bring that back up. Let's see. We're about on time, but I'll probably just have the toaster time be trying to go through these probably pretty quickly, I suppose. Do I watch any online animators who aren't MLP related? Online animators. That's the big thing. Online animators. Of course. Yeah. It's kind of hard not to just go on YouTube and not find animation, especially when I'm actively sort of starting watching those. And obviously when you watch one type of video on YouTube, then you get 10 more. they're exactly the same. So if you watch cartoon related things, it's like you get 20 more cartoons. So yeah. As an answer to that, yes. You didn't quite say which ones do you watch. So here we go. Moving on. But yeah, just like anyone, it's hard to know like the names of people. It kind of slips my mind. I think of more of the content in their videos or like their style. I think of their art style, their art animation style. That I've got some kind of weird uh, 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 skill to like recognize when it's someone's animation style or art style. Especially they're very unique. Like a. Uh-oh. See, I'm just so bad with the names. Yeah, anyway. Let's see. Here, I'll fix that for you. Okay. What was your favorite stream/stream moment? Ooh. First one, I read this before, and I think the first one I thought of was one of the Halloween specials. Streams that I did. I planned this whole thing out. It was just like I got this so down to like let me practice it over and over, and it's like I know exactly what I'm gonna do. And I I was gonna use my green screen, as like a sheet or something, like a mask, and then I would kind of like burst out of it and then show myself and have like a mask and go wooga booga or something. Problem was that there was no one really there at the time, so I didn't really scare too many people because no one really came in at the beginning. So it's like I think only Star and like maybe one else, probably not even that, were there. So I did this huge embarrassing thing, and then no one really saw it, so that became more embarrassing. Of me just kind of, yeah. I did it, but yeah, that was not quite the grandiose of like what I prepared for, what I expected it was gonna happen. Yeah. Oh boy. Let's move on. If you could relive the last 8 years on YouTube, what would you do differently? Relive 8 years on YouTube. I think it would probably be try to like branch out and try to communicate more with people, because I feel like I've always been, kind of like I'm gonna do my own thing and try to perfect that and try to make that my own signature thing. But I feel like if I talked to people and went to more different people, like I would have had more opportunities, and then that would have built more of a career to like have more people to talk to and stuff. Because I was very on my own, just trying to make stuff. So way back when, I feel like I probably should have made more connections along the way. I think that would have helped, because then I could bounce off ideas and collaborate more with people. Because nowadays it's like I'm desperately trying to like latch on to like my, less than 3 people I can talk to regularly. But if I did that way before, then I would have had like a lot more and would have had connections with popular YouTube creators or stuff, and then I'd be able to work with them, or maybe they could get like a job or something to work with them or something. So I would say that's what I would say. I think what I did on my path to just the self-discovery stuff has been really good. I wouldn't change that as much as just keep learning as I go now. I'm still growing and learning new stuff. I'm learning new software like Toon Boom and Blender. So I would say that's good. Alrighty. Excuse me. Is there a project you always wanted to make but never had the chance to do so? Yes. During during college, I had a bunch of different ideas as ones to do. I had one where I had an idea where I wanted to do like some kind of animation or comic or something where it was gonna be I think I've said this before, but it was gonna be like an RPG parody or an MMO. It was MMO parody where you would take all the weird aspects of MMORGs and make fun of those. So any kind of like uh, weird things that would happen, like questioning like weird video game systems and stuff, and try to have like some kind of narrative with that. Um, I feel like it can probably still work. If I finish my cat comic, I feel like that might be my next one, or I might think of something new. It's always been a back burner just because I've been solely very, very focused on my pony and animation stuff. So um, I feel like, yeah, was if I allowed myself to like move away for a little bit, because this might take a while to develop and make that. I feel like I'd be wasting my time in a sense that I wouldn't be making the pony stuff, and then you guys would be mad and stuff, and it'd just be a circle of like I'm not able to move on. Especially you guys were also saying like when are you gonna leave the fandom, and it's like jeez, like you guys, you gotta be on a stronghold of like you can't leave, ride lasts forever, and so it's like, man. I didn't think that would be fun. I have a lot of other projects and stuff I thought of over the time. Either I just forgot them, or some even came like in a dream. So, but I'd be somewhat lucid and like in the morning, and I'd go through like hours, would feel like sleep hours worth of um, developing stories and ideas and stuff that I think it'd be actually pretty cool as an ideas, making new projects. So I feel like some of those I could probably develop further. But yeah, never be mad at me. Thank you. People give me grief for doing other stuff than not my fans. Ah, jeez. Thank you. It is hard to like, with fandoms and communities being super important to people. It becomes like their livelihood, to the sense of like, if you're like in a, say like an Undertale fandom, it's like you're gonna be you're gonna be cringed by some people who bully you, and then you're gonna think that this becomes your lifestyle in a sense. Like it becomes your whole being. Then is that you're part of this fandom. So to say like, oh, I'm gonna leave, it's like, whoa, that's pretty big, nowadays. So I don't know. That would be a pretty good time. Now we're season 2 of Pony Life is coming out though, and then eventually the movie's gonna come out, and then that series. So it is a weird time where it's like it's not drought, but it's like it's we're in between the phases that it's like if I wanted to leave, then this be pretty good time. I haven't thought of what I'm gonna do after the movie, but probably move on to try to figure out like some kind of other career. Which most likely will not be porn related, because the chance of that is very, very slim. So, yeah. Thank you. Let's see. What do you think YouTube is missing? Sorry. What do you think YouTube is missing, or what needs to be improved the platform? I would say I thought of this. I thought of the dislike button has been really weird. I know that they have those updates, and they're thinking about, YouTube is thinking of not really removing dislikes, but just like making them invisible. And I'm not quite sure what they mean by that. If it just doesn't show like a number, and if it just says the word dislike, I feel like that's even worse than having like a 0 dislike. Because like any person can immediately just click on the dislike, and then it's like, haha, gotcha. It's like, trolled you. That I feel like that's such a empty like thing of like, well, what was that for? And then I don't know if it affects the video itself. Like it might. I'm thinking it might reduce the amount of visibility on it if it's a bad video. Or a very dislike bombed, kind of video. So I feel like just removing it. Obviously, other people have expressed a lot more of that. Of like, it doesn't really remove the problem. I thought of my idea of like having it be more of a survey. So you would have to like, it would say dislike, and then it would give you like different choices of like, hey, we noticed that you clicked this, like, well, why did you click it? Was it because, is it harmful? Is it a bad, video? Is it not recommended good? Is it, different ideas to get people thinking of, like, critically thinking about why did you click it rather than just a simple troll of, ha, got him, that, like, empty of, like, that's it, kind of a thing. So I feel like YouTube's idea of having it just be the word dislike doesn't really change it as much as making it important for the people to understand like what the critical thinking of like why did you click it, you know. So that's what I would say about that. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of other YouTube stuff that people have also shared about that. It's like yeah, the bell notifications and a bunch of different stuff. Kappa has been really big and just like me freaking about it. And when now it's been who knows how long, and I just click no, it's not made for kids, and that's all I have to do now. Then that got convoluted. Yeah, boy. I think that's it. So I can keep going with this real quick. What do my family think of my videos? I would say they're fans. I would say that they support me. They do like what I make. I don't know if they've seen every video, or if they liked it and stuff, or what they think of every video. But they definitely watch whenever I say like, hey, I uploaded something, then they'll make time and watch it. So they bought some of my merch. Whoops, plug. I have merch. Check the description. I think I have a plug for my, for my Redbubble. Let's see. Let me just check real quick before I leave you guys. Yeah, at the bottom of the big social box, I have a Redbubble shirts and merch. So get yourself some swag with that. But yeah, they bought some of my shirts, and that's been really fun because they would go to conventions too, and they support all of my pony associations and obsessions. And they love it too. They like the show too. So that's been, give back and forth of satisfaction. So they like it. They like supporting me with it. So yeah, I think some of my relatives also seen it. Not too much of them, I don't know. But definitely I try to share it to my teachers, and if there's anyone else, try to get them to see what they think. Especially in college, I showed it to one of my professors. I think I showed the professor my Derpy test. I don't know if he really liked it, but he was like, good effort. So I was like, all right. Yeah, I showed it to different people. I think it's a pretty good support, and I think people like it. It's hard to tell, whether people are just lying, but I think people do like it. Like my videos. Okay. Oh, next question is the big question. Let me just check. Oh, thank you. I am a mistake. You commented on my video. Derpy test. Okay. Dang, keep clicking. Okay. Where were we? Right, the big question. If you were a cat in Cats, the musical, what would your gimmick be? So if you don't know, Cats the musical is a musical from like the 70s or like 79. It's a Broadway musical. It's about a bunch of cats. That's it. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Is it's a bunch of cats, and they sing about themselves. So if I was a cat in the musical, each of the cats have like very like, this is the magician cat. This is the fat cat. This is the the trickster. They like playing around. They got the suave one and the other ones. So skip it. It's a good question. I thought it'd be like some sort of, like a Mr. Mistopheles, the magician style kind of character. Maybe something with obviously what I like, some kind of artistic stuff, some kind of qualities. There is a Disney character, Duffy Cat, that is, if I had a persona, which we're going way deep into this, this would be my persona. Let me see if I can. It's getting there. We're almost there. In a new tab. Whoop. This is, what's his name? Gelatoni. So this is one of the Duffy type of cats. Duffy is a bear, and there's a whole line of different like animals, and so I would say like, man, I saw this and I was like, dude, that's like everything. So it's a little cat, and he draws paintings with his little tail as a paintbrush, and he's got a little beret, which is like perfect teal, and his green cat. And it's like, man, that's everything I like. So if I was transported to Cats musical, I might be this Gelatoni cat and sing about how I love painting or something. So, oh, that was fun. That's good for you. That's good for me. All right, keep him on screen. Gelatoni. Gelatoni. I think it's Italian. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of, there's a whole cast of different characters, a bunch of different animals. It started with just a bear, and then they were like, man, this bear is really marketable. We can make a bunch of different plushes and stuff. And then they were like, what if we have 2? And then they made this like 6 or 7 different characters already. So, yeah. Okay, thank you, Star. Bye-bye. I love him too. I know. He's the best. I would, yeah. Wish I could find a higher picture of him. Let's see. There's like a cartoon version. Whoop. There you go. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, he's got the paint on his tail. He's even his little palette is a little Mickey Mouse head. Oh, he's so cute. I think you have to go to Disney Sea, which is like the Disneyland of Tokyo. You could probably get one of these characters there. They're not in America, which is really disappointing, but all the characters are super cute. It's like if like Hello Kitty, you know, had a bunch of different animals, but like more generic characters and animals. I don't know. But anyway, these are really cute. Yeah. So I'd be like this kind of character with this kind of paintbrush tail. That'd be so cool. Which is kind of like Smeargle in Pokemon, where he Smeargle paints with his tail too. I think that'd be fun. Oh, that was so much fun. Alrighty. And last question. We're almost there. Thank you for sticking around with this. With me foiling around with this. Jeez. Oh boy. Let's see. Can you tell us one random piece of trivia about yourself? What haven't I told you? Oh jeez. There's so many anecdotes. Random piece of trivia. Let's think of one. Oof. I'm bad at sports. I mean, that's not a fun trivia. I like Jeopardy. Like playing that. I've only had one PlayStation 3, and that was just my dad getting in so we could play DVDs. Hi, Two-Tailed. A little fox. Thank you. I'm falling off the screen. Whoa. Anything? Let's see. Spitball random things. It's just random. One time, when I was like 6, 7, whatever, we were like in we lived in a bunch of like apartments and like a large apartment building complex, and it was like on the side of it was up, and then it's like this street was like on a hill. Hill's not really too important, but there was like a neighbor dog, and I remember being like at the corner where you could like go down and it's legit a street with like 2 or 3 different lanes. But if you go around a corner, then it becomes the street goes into like the apartments. And then I remember getting afraid of the dog, and then like it would bark at me, and then I got really scared, and so my uh, uh, was it fight or flight kicked in, and I said flight, and so um, I ran to the street sidewalk corner. I just ran down the hill, and I was like, I'm just booking it. I got so scared by this little dog. Um, and I was thinking that the dog was chasing me, so I just ran really, really fast. And so I eventually like got at the bottom and like looked up and it's like, oh, the dog's not there. So I was like, okay. And then I walked back up. I just remember like as I first started running, I remember like parents and people were like laughing at me. So I was like just like super embarrassed with that. That's an embarrassing story. I don't know if that's trivia. I have a fear of dogs. There you go. Also around the same time, I lived in an apartment. As a kid, I remember there was a cat, and I remember like I never had a cat. My mom was allergic to fur, so we can never really have pets. So there was good enough. All right. There was a cat. I remember like not knowing what to do with a cat. So like, do I just pet it? Like it starts to like get really close, and it's like just like eye level, and just trying to pet it or something. Then I remember like grabbing the tail, and then next thing I knew, I had a very very long gash, like blood, all the way down my arm. Like my whole forearm was in like little scratch marks where the cat just went. Shoo. I'm sure my little arm was only like that long or something. So for that to be like a huge whoosh all the way down, so um, yeah, so I got cut up by a cat. So that's I don't know if that's fun. um, but yeah, I like cats. They're cute. That's the only like bad experience I had, and that's understandable that I did something bad with it. So with the dogs, it's like unexplicable. Of like, why did you just yell at me, and why are you chasing me? I don't understand. So, yeah. They just had cats on screen, so I got confused with that. But yeah, that's good. That's good. We're almost on time for the toaster time, where we're going off on that. I think I did all the questions. Thank you guys for submitting your questions. I super appreciate it, and especially Cookie for going the extra mile with that. And people who asked, I think there was 1 or 2 questions in live chat. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And anyone else who supported me throughout these years and had fun watching videos or commenting and maybe like looking at them, looking at the thumbnail and going, wow, that looks fun, and then not clicking on it. Thank you. Still doing your part of keeping it visible. Visibility is important. So yeah, let's see. I'm gonna go to real toast time, even though I think there's not much more I can say, and look, my throat's not gonna be too happy either. So yeah, let's go big cat. There you go. What if I should do fan art of this cat? That'd be fun. What would you guys like to see next? Oh yeah, for future streams, what would you like to see? Let me see if I can bounce myself over here. Boop. There you go. For future streams, what would you like to see? Because we kind of did a pretty good divide after we finished the 6-8 character art, fan art. And then we did the April Fools right after that, and then we finished the last of the 8, and then we did this. So we did the cat one, the cat comic. Let's see. YouTube is not receiving enough information to do a smooth adjusting. Well, that's not good. Am I still on? It looks on. Seems weird. It just gave me a scary message. Yeah, so we should figure out what to do for next week. We have some time, but what would you guys like to see? Because either we could do another animation to boom style where we did the Harshwini train one, that kind of a project that those kind of take a while to make. So that'd be a long term project, or maybe something like a one stream thing, which means we have to do more planning to think of something else after that. So let's see. What was I thinking? I had a different idea of what to do. What was it? I can't think of it. Well, we had the comic. I could work on that. Well, I think I was gonna do something with maybe the. This wasn't it. Maybe the with the movie. I could do some tour rounds with the city again. Let's see. What was it? Oh yeah, I was also thinking in the future term with that I can try and learn 3D animation, which sounds weird because my um, Derpy movie has a bunch of 3D sets and things are animating, but I feel like I haven't learned. Every time that I do 3D animation, way back when, I started learning it, I've always done weird geometry moving translations. Like I never really had like a full real character rig to play with that has controls. I've always done where it's like different joints and different parenting stuff, but I never had like a full IK or FK rig to play around with, so I never really worked with that. So any kind of like 3D character animation, like for a legit, like real, fully rigged, actual complete animatable character, I don't think I've really done that to any extent. So I would like to learn how to do that in case I want to do some 3D animation. Like I could do the same thing of like recreating, like how I recreated the Pony Life animation was that I used Toon Boom and I made character rigs in Toon Boom and then animated those. I could do the same thing for recreating the G5 characters with their ponies and then do it in 3D. So I can have an excuse to, keep up with the times and trying to figure out how to do 3D animation. Because otherwise it'd be weird. Might be more unique in a sense, but when G5 comes out, then I can have G5 content where I can have it be either 2D or 3D, and I'm not sure. Because my skill sets are very 2D. I just never had to write puppets and write controls for the characters. Because what I'm doing with Blender is mostly just having the 2D characters and then just kind of translating them. Like there's in the actual back end of it with the 3D, it's just a 2D plane, like a piece of paper. I'm moving a piece of paper around in 3D space. I'm not really animating it with controls and FKs and IKs to any extent at all. It's moving just a piece of paper around and rotating it and stuff. Even with one of the props that I have for part 4, it's really just the same thing, but I'm moving the actual model around. It doesn't deform or it doesn't have ways to bend it or stretch it or anything. Which now thinking about it, I think it might actually work for some scenes, would be to bend it, or at least kind of like curve it, like a slinky kind of shape. So that'd be something that I can try and make something that DJ Ved is doing, where DJ has a really professional looking, really, really industry ready, you can bring it into like a studio environment and have them animate it, animate ready kind of characters with their models that they're ready to animate and stuff. So I feel like I'd be interested in trying to do something like that. Or there's so many other options too, so I'm just not sure. When I have too many options that, yeah, I don't know what to do now. That I could just go back and hope that we do the same kind of thing of doing the Harshwinny style animations and pony life animations and stuff. But I think because I'm thinking that season 2 of Pony Life is probably going to be last season. I doubt after G5 premieres that they'll do season 3 of Pony Life. Well, has that been confirmed at all? I'm not quite sure if that's press release yet, so if that's stated or not. I think in the meantime, yeah, that'd be an interesting thing. Or just developing a comic board, or trying to figure out maybe a better character design. I've been thinking about redesigning the character of the cat a little bit, and I'll have to redo. I want to redo some of the panels. They were saying like last time with the comic that the page 2 doesn't quite make sense. I feel like it might be better instead of the cat hiding under the rock. I think it might be better to have it like just kind of be behind it, so it doesn't have to go underneath it and have this weird angle. So it could like just kind of like sit behind the rock and cower instead. But otherwise, I think we're on time. So any closing thoughts? Then I think we'll be good, and we can head on out, and I can stop talking. I can refresh my throat. Jeez. Next time too, I figured out with the virtual tuber Derpy, I must have closed it, or like in the scene version, I must have deleted the layers so that the Derpy and the green screen basically just disappeared somehow. So I basically just had to recreate it by putting them back in and importing it. So they work, because last time they didn't show up for some reason. So I fixed that. So that should be all taken care of, or at least if it broke again, then I can fix it again, kind of a thing. So I'll probably go back to that because my hair is not. You can see how weird it is with the green screen. That's why I'm using the virtual tuber, because I haven't had a haircut in like in 2 years, and it's just not great of how it looks. See how weird that is. I can make it a little better, but then my pupils go away, so I don't want that. So I kind of have this like my mom's little thing here. Probably should use it, but it just looks weird too. There you go. So that's out of the way somewhat. So that's why I'm hiding my face. It's just because my hair is not great on green screen. Okay, rambling. Let's see though. I think we're good. I'll work on a movie more. Hope to get a pretty good estimate of the animation pretty much done, and then do some cleanup, and then my goal is try and finish everything, like get music and everything finalized, make the whole video complete by next Saturday. So I'm working really, really hard to get that done, to get it to be where that's actually going to be feasible. So gonna try really hard. Oh, my stream's apparently okay now. Okay, now I have an excellent connection. Great. Okay. Alrighty. So I guess I'll have some time for between now and next week to figure out what we're actually gonna do. So alrighty. Thanks guys. Thank you for the questions, and thanks for sticking around for who knows how long. And if you've been here for a long time, thank you, because I've been here for even longer, possibly. So yeah, go check out all the gotta plug this. Go check out all the stuff in the description. There's a bunch of social media stuff if you want to follow me on all that. So appreciate all your nice comments and stuff. See you next week. Happy ready. Thank you. Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you guys. Hope this was fun for you. Hopefully, that at least answered at least some questions about me. I'm very multi-layered. There you go. So yeah, I think we're good. So I'm gonna hit in. I found the in button. So, till then. So come back on next Tuesday at 4 p.m. or 7 p.m. Whatever time works for you and where you live. So, thank you so much. Till then. All right. See you guys. Bye bye.